What's up, guys? My name's Tom, and I run a company where we essentially help coaches and consultants at 20 to 80k a month scale to 100k a month and beyond. We place closers, setters, we build out the sales process, and we train sales teams. Now, in this video, I'm going to go through the full sales call framework that allowed me to close $1.27 million in deals in the last 12 months. First thing I want to go through is the introduction. This space lacks trust. So many people offering everything under the sun, so many ads. So important to just be yourself. Be authentic. Don't try to be someone you're not, and just be chill. Right? It's super important to just get on with someone. So what I'm doing in the intro is just introducing myself, building a bit of relationship for a minute or two, keeping it pretty short, and just connecting, right? Breaking the ice. In terms of setting the agenda, super important to just say, okay, I'm setting the call, right? I'm the person who's actually asking the questions so that people aren't going to be surprised that you're asking so many questions. So how I do this is I say, what I've seen works best in these calls is I just tend to ask a few questions based on your situation, what your goals are, and what the main roadblocks are. Right? If I feel like I can actually help, I'm happy to run through what we offer and get you started. If not, no hard feelings whatsoever. Hopefully I can just point you in the right direction. Sound fair? Super chilled, just pretty much setting the frame. Now, current situation, super important to probe, right? And by probe, I just mean dig deeper, right? Don't assume that you know what someone's thinking or you know what someone's means, right? Always probe into things. So what I tend to do is just first question I ask is, what is the main reason you wanted to book in a call and get help with X, Y, Z? You know, for example, what is the main reason you want to book in a call and potentially get started with high ticket closing, right? It's a very tailored question. Instead of saying, what brought you to the call? Very broad. They can say, oh yeah, I just want to look around, just having a look, gaining more info. This is pretty much saying, okay, what made you want to look in specifically to high ticket sales, and basically what's your problem? Okay, so you ask a more tailored question, you get a more tailored answer. This usually gets the pain out of them. But if it doesn't and you probe enough, you want to ask what they're doing for a living. Okay, just gives you more ammo. Okay, what are you doing for a living and how long have you been doing that for? Very important because it gives you ammo. Okay, how long someone's been doing the same thing for? Very important objection handling because you can say, right, you've been doing this for X amount of months, X amount of years, and you still not changed. Next thing is the problem awareness. We want to go deep on the problem, and by deep on the problem, I mean just probe so much. Okay, you're probably going to hear probing a lot in this video. You've been doing this for X amount of time. Do you like what you're doing for a living? We're just prodding it. We're prodding, right? If yes, what do you like about it? All right, we want to find out what they like. And usually people say, yeah, I like this, but I like this, but this. Okay, so it's a very good way to probe into the pains without directly asking. If they don't say they don't like anything, I think that's how you say it. You pretty much say, look, things seem to be going pretty well. Like, is there anything you change about what you're doing or the results you're getting at the moment? That's when you get into the pain. Or if they say no, you just say, what do you not like about it? Okay, and it's very important to probe into things. I say it again, guys, probe into things. So let's say someone said, oh yeah, it's just taking a lot of my time. It's taking so much time. A lot of your time? Like, how much time exactly is it taking from you? 12 hours. 12 hours, is that have an effect on you at all? Yeah, like in what way specifically? Okay, so you want to delve deep a few layers into it because that's going to give you a lot of ammo, and ammo is something you really want in these sales calls. Confirmation, it's just confirming that you understand and confirming that you're listening, right? So just so I can be clear with things. Situation you're in is you work as a nurse and you're working 12-hour shift that essentially don't allow you to spend time with your kids, right? Yeah, 100%. So it just shows you're actually listening, all right? Even builds that relationship even more because it shows you're actually interested in what they're saying. Agree with the pain points. Make sure you probe in. You guys are going to hear it. Okay, sweet. So this is where you want to delve into a bit more pain. So ideally on sales calls, you want to get about 2 to 3 points of pain. Not just 1, 2 to 3 ammo. So just so I can get a bit more of an understanding, besides X pain, what's the main reason behind looking to become a high ticket closer or a trader or whatever, rather than just carry on and progressing with what you're doing at the moment? So it's pretty much asking what is better about this business model that makes you want to stop doing what you're doing right now. Okay, so it's basically just another way of asking about the pain and bigging up your business model. So once you've gained 2 to 3 pain points, once you've delved into it and you've got 100% understanding of what their pains are, you've delved into it 100%, then we go into solution awareness. What other solutions have you looked into? If they say, okay, I've not looked into any, why not? And this is gold here. If they've not looked into any, this is probably the best piece of ammo you could have. Why haven't you looked into anything? Been struggling with XYZ problem for 2 years now. Why haven't you done anything in that time? This is where you really hold accountable. Okay, if they give you a bullshit answer, you want to hold them accountable even more. Like, really? Like, you haven't done anything because of that? Don't let them get away with any shitty answer. Okay, you want to make sure you're probing. You want to make sure you're actually holding them accountable and holding your ground. If you think someone's bullshit, call it out. If they give you some solutions, you want to ask why it didn't work out. Okay, you want them to pretty much reflect on why that didn't work and what they need to do differently, whether it be make better decisions, whether it be take more action so you can use it as ammo. Why do you not think that worked out, or why do you think that didn't work out? And what makes you think this can work out for you? So it's building up the certainty in this business model or this service or offer even more, so they think it's going to be different this time. Desired situation, very important to actually visualize this. I used to think, why do people say, okay, so how's that going to make you feel, all that shit? I don't say that, by the way, but it's really important to allow them to go really deep in terms of their desires to make them think it's possible. Same reason why you visualize, you meditate, you close your eyes, you visualize your future life as an entrepreneur. You want them to do it with their goals, but of course not close their eyes. You want them to think, wow, like that actually is possible. Let me think deeply in terms of why, one. Maybe it is actually possible with this solution. So 6 months time from now, what is the ideal situation for yourself? I like to start with the lifestyle side of things. Okay, they list out all their lifestyle, what they want all their life to look like, and then you can work backwards. Okay. So how much do you need to be earning on a monthly basis to be able to live that lifestyle? You want to probe into it. Why specifically do you want that lifestyle? What about that lifestyle excites you? What about that lifestyle makes you feel like you'd be complete or makes you feel like you'd be more happy? How would that have an effect on you on a personal level? What's behind that? What makes you want that lifestyle? And then you work backwards. So how much money do you feel like you need to be earning on a monthly basis to be able to have that lifestyle? This is another way I'd answer the last question I just asked. So let's suppose for a minute you're actually making 20K a month. Having the location freedom, the time flexibility, or insert their goals. What specifically do you feel like that would do for you personally? So that's a good way of gauging what's behind it. It's a good way of probing, because the more they think about it, the more they visualize their goals, the more they think, wow, like I can actually do this. So next section is the cost of an action. I've put a few things together from a few different sales trainers in this space. What I like to do is get them up there and then just get them back there again to make them think, shit, I'm not in that situation. So that's the top of the mountain. You're making 20K a month. You live in that location freedom. You live in the life you want for your family. The bottom of the mountain is essentially what happens if nothing changes. What does that look like for you? It wouldn't look good. Now, what do you mean? What do you mean it wouldn't look good? In what way wouldn't it look good? You want to probe onto that. A lot of the time, people give you a bit of a shitty answer and say, well, look, like I'm going to change something in 6 months or in the next few years. It's not going to happen. It's not a possibility. And then you push back. And that's where the ammo at the start of the call comes in. How long have you been doing this for? How long have you been facing this issue for? So you say, well, look, I disagree. It's been happening for the past 6, 12 months. So it is a possibility, right? Because it has been for the past year. What does it look like if nothing changes? Essentially, you just push back and you ask the same question again. That really gets the prospect thinking in terms of what would their life look like if nothing changes. And I guess, why is it so important to you now, though? Why not last week, next week, 6 months? Why not wait till New Year, New Me? New Year's resolution. Bit of humor, mocking things sometimes helps, but essentially just build up the urgency. Okay? Why now? Why is it so important now to make them think, okay, now I need to take action instead of saying I need to think about things? After you've gone through this part of the call, now it's time to share the solution. You've got all of the info you need to know to be able to actually share the solution and make them an offer. I say, look, Mr. Prospect, I appreciate you sharing that with me. Based on what you've told me, it seems like you'd definitely be a good fit for us and what we offer. Before I run through what we offer exactly, do you have any specific questions? This is your chance to handle a few objections beforehand, gauge what their inconsistencies and uncertainties are. Okay, sweet. Do you have a pen and paper handy? Okay, this is going to allow them to take more initiative and actually pay attention more and focus. So before going into the process, just so you have the big picture, in one line, what we do is X, Y, Z. You want to pretty much give an overview of what we do and what the promise is. And after this, what I like to do in terms of my structure of my pitch is 3 key phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. You want to break down your offer into 3 phases so it's nice and easy to understand. Very, very key with the pitch, not focus on features. A lot of people share the screen, go through all the program or the service. Such a rookie move. You want to focus on the outcome. You want to focus on what their life could look like. Okay? Also, I don't really like to share my screen because it doesn't allow them to imagine. If you don't share your screen and you explain the service or the program, it allows them to imagine what the outcome would look like, what the actual specific program looks like. But if you share all of your cards, if you share all of the inside of the program, whatever, they can't really imagine. They think, oh, well, that's it. 3 key phases. You want to focus on the problems of the prospect, tailor the pitch. You want to have a framework, but also focus on the specific problems. Like I said, don't focus on the features. You want to focus on the outcome. After the 3 key phases, temp check. And this is really important in terms of gauging where they're at, if they're bought in, if they have any objections. So that's exactly how we want to get you from where you are right now in X situation to X goal. Visualizing it again. Do you have any questions? Handle objections? Okay, just before going to the price / investment, the process, everything we covered. I do honestly feel like this could be the answer for you to get to X, Y, Z goal. What this is doing is just getting rid of any objections potentially. Temp check is super important in terms of getting rid of any uncertainty. So the goal here is to make sure nothing is left behind. Of course, sometimes there are going to be things that are left after the price drop, but the goal is to make sure you handle everything. Do you feel like this is the answer? If they give you a very confident answer of a yes, why specifically they give an answer? What makes you say that? What makes you think that would be the answer for you? Probing, just to get them to reaffirm it, okay? If they give you an answer that's like, yeah, that's bullshit. You know, they don't actually think it's the answer. So you want to call out. I'll be honest, it doesn't seem like you're that confident. Anything holding you back? It's just, I'm just uncertain, I'm just fearful. Then you handle that objection. On a 4th or a 3rd temp check, just to be safe, you want to 1 to 10 it. You don't always want to do this, but if you're unsure, on a scale of 1 to 10, just so I'm sure. 1 meaning, I hate this guy, I hate the product, not a fit for me. 10 being, I love it, I'm ready to move ahead right now. Where would you say you fall at the moment? If they say 9, 10 with strong tonality, you want to move ahead because that's very good buying signals, okay? If they say 8 or below, you want to ask them what's holding you back. Okay, 8, no worries. What would you say is holding you back from becoming a 10? And you handle the objection. After this, once you've got through everything you can in terms of the certainty, the objections, once you feel ready, but only when you feel ready, you price drop. So in terms of lifetime access to XYZ to get you to this goal, the price is 5K, silence. You want to wait for them to speak because it's going to allow them to think. It's going to allow them to actually have some breathing room and process everything you've said. After this, you're probably going to get some objections arise. This is when the juice happens. This is when it gets fun. I need to think about it. No worries whatsoever. You don't want to be pushy. No point being a pushy salesperson. No worries. All good. Completely understand it, brother. Look, in terms of the whole process, do you honestly feel like this could actually work for you? You want to reaffirm that it would work. Yeah. What makes you not confident? Or if they say, yeah, 100%. Okay, so when you do go think about things, what specifically is coming up for you to think about? A lot of the time, you won't get the real answer, but if you do it right, you diffuse it properly, you can handle the rejection, okay? It's just the money. Okay, perfect. I completely understand it, man. I was in the exact same situation or whatever. You want to relate to it. What specifically about the money is coming up for you? Is it that you've got the budget, it's just a bit of a big jump, or it's completely out of your budget? It's a broad one. So it could be they don't have the money, they need a payment plan, or it could be they're fearful. Okay? If it's the fear, you want to handle the fear objection. If it's the money, you want to handle the payment plan side of things. You want to reaffirm the objection after you actually find out because it could be bullshit. If you had the money, if you had a bag of 5K right now lying there, what would your next steps be? I'd 100% go for it. Likelihood is it is the money. Yeah, I'd still probably need to think about it. The money's not the objection. Okay, so you go back, you loop, you carry on finding out and probing what the objection is. Don't have the money right now, you want to probe into payment plans. Okay, not a problem whatsoever. Tell me, if you did have the funds, if you had 5K there, what would your next steps be? It's my go-to for handling objections and see if it's the right objection. What makes you say that? So just to be clear, reaffirming it once more time, you're 100% on the program. It's just the funds holding you back. Yes, 100%. That is your cue to go into offer payment plans. Okay, you know it's the money now. Okay, perfect. I can appreciate the money might be an issue for you. How do you think you can resolve this so you can find the money, so you can get to XYZ goal? Okay, this is pretty much getting to be a bit resourceful, find the money yourself. I can do this, I can sell this, or they can say, I don't know, I can't find the money. Can you think of any other avenues at all that you can find the money to get to XYZ goal? If no luck, then you pitch the payment plans. How I like to do this is an open wallet check. An open wallet check is pretty much seeing how much money they have so you don't leave all the cards on the table. If we feel like someone's a really good fit and they would get some killer results with us, then we're happy to offer payment plans and the ability to break it down further. Would that help you at all? Yes. Okay, well, look, for me to figure out what plan works best, I need to know a bit more about the finances specifically. Are you open to having a pretty honest conversation about what the finances look like just to see if I can help? Yeah, 100%. Okay, so how much free cash do you have available in the standard checking account at the moment? Then you ask, okay, in terms of the savings account, what do you have free? Investments, and then if you exhaust all of those options, you want to go into credit. Some people need credit reframing because they think it's a bit scary. So I like to go with the landlord analogy. Lots of landlords don't actually own their house. They use debt to be able to get passive income and grow their investments. So you can use that analogy. Off topic. You want to go into credit and go that way. But essentially, guys, that is pretty much a very rough guide of the whole framework that I use to be able to close 1.27 million in the last 12 months. If you have any specific questions going into specific detail of each one of these sections, drop me a message on Instagram. And look, if you're a coach or consultant between 20 and 80K a month and you need help increasing your conversion rates, show rates, offer rates, everything, drop me a message on Instagram and I'll see if I can help. Have a good day, guys. Bye.